escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. CeeChronicles is my name and I'm back home, guys. I think you did see when I did the PR unboxing that I'm already back home. I am safe. Thank you so much for the well wishes and all of you guys who were watching my my videos when I was at Beauty World. We still do have a couple of videos, but what I'm going to be doing is I will be recording at home and throwing some of the old videos so that it doesn't become, repetitive and boring. Now, I hope I find you well. If you're new on this channel, I post fragrance reviews and would very much appreciate you joining, this family by subscribing. We have moved as well, not by, residence, but in space, because I have had an extension on my cupboard now that my, fragrances are spilling over. Now, welcome to today's video. Today, I'm going to review these two fragrances, Minya from Paris Corner, and the one that comes in the green box, and a Minya Coco Lush. Okay, so these two I'm doing together because obviously they're from the Minya line. If at all Paris Corner continues them, then we'll know why, all right? Because Minya, I thought, okay, I'm going to bring the two together. Now, this is a little bit awkward. So if I'm reaching there, it's because my table is there and that's where my fragrances are. However, this is what we're here to talk about, okay? This is the bottle. It does come in this greenish color that when I reviewed this at Beauty World, it was like, it was a quick review. And I remember thinking to myself, I hope this is not a young pistachio, rendition or whatever it is. Because I have also noticed, guys, that with the new releases, there are some repetitions of some DNAs, and of course there are some surprises there. Now, good news is don't leave just yet. This is not another take on yum pistachio gelato, in as much as it of course has that pistachio. So you ought to expect that pistachio there at the top, a very almondy, nutty feel at the top, and then the vanilla comes into the mix almost immediately there. So it does carry a nutty, sweet top there. And then as you're processing or enjoying that, the caramel just slaps you there in the face, and you kind of have something that is familiar, especially if you have used that Cheriosa 62 by Sol de Janeiro. Now, I do have the Cheriosa 62 myself, and the one that I have is actually the body mist. I am going to redeem this one a little bit by saying that the caramel that I get in here is not as chest piercing as that which I get in the body mist. It actually, I think, is drawing inspiration of the EDP than it is the body mist, although the two share some similarities there. By the two, I mean the body mist of Cheriosa 62 as well as the EDP share like that continuation where you feel, okay, this is an extension of this. However, in the body mist, I feel as though, or at least in what I get, the vibes that I get in my personal body mist is it's a little bit pushy there on the caramel, whereas in this I can sort of tolerate the caramel there. Okay, so do expect something along them lines. Well, actually do expect that. Okay, so it does feel as though Paris Corner were inspired by that fragrance for them to make this fragrance. Very nutty there at the top with the pistachio, then sharing another nuttiness. They're coming from the almond, where it feels like you're actually breathing or smelling the almond seed. Okay, so if you have that nut, you open it, just the seed, if you smell it like this, it's got quite a heavy nutty smell, and that is what I get from here. The DNA in itself is gourmand in nature, so if you love gourmand fragrances, you're gonna love this, and more so if you love, of course, that caramel note, right? So it's quite sweet, but I feel men can certainly wear this DNA, right? But if you're one that likes your sweet fragrances on the guarded side, that you may want to wear this in cooler weather than you will in hot weather, because it is a little bit pushy there, but certainly has that gourmand texture to it. So yes, of course, if you love Cheriosa 62, you can certainly wear this. And I actually did open it today, all right? But I was doing a TikTok video as well as doing this one at the same time, so I cannot affirm when it comes to longevity. However, I can clue you up that it is giving me a vibe where it probably will be able to carry itself for 4 hours plus, right? More so that the same bubble that I'm in right now is smelling a lot of this. So it does feel as though I've just put 3 sprays here. If you were to put maybe 10 sprays on yourself, it will probably do 4 hours or more. When I looked at this one, at Beauty World, because I did try this one at Beauty World, and I did wear it a little bit here because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't draw or share anything in common with what they've given us before, which is the which is the Eternal Coffee, okay, because the Eternal Coffee comes in a bottle with this shade, as well as anything maybe to do with the Billie Eilish, you know, something that has chocolate. I know Coco is not chocolate, but I mean, this particular Coco, this is Coco as in coconut. It's not chocolate, but you know, sometimes with the Middle Eastern servings, you're not sure until you're really sure. So another thing I can say is no, it shares nothing in common with Billie Eilish. No, does it share anything in common with what they've given us before in that Eternal Coffee. Now, let's waste a couple of sprays in this box. Okay, 3 are enough, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts as to, you know, what's going on here. Right, immediately, you know, from those sprays, you're going to get that coconut. So the promise of that cocoa is fulfilled in this. It's not one of those where the name is not, you know, tallying with what's going on. So you've got to love coconut for you to love this fragrance, because that is what you're going to get. Like tonic slap in the face there, where it is very evident in that coconutness. However, the coconut in here, though a little bit buttery as well to my nose, is not let's say it was a bowl of dessert. It's not one that, it's one that you would probably finish, okay? Because when it comes to coconut, sometimes it can be a little bit of a heady coconut, where you can just envision, say you had a bowl of dessert and it was in front of you, 2-3 spoons, you've had enough. This is not that sort of coconut. It is a sort of coconut where you can actually enjoy the whole day. All right, now with that coconut is going to have a fruity wrap up to it, which is the raspberry. So you are to expect a berry fizziness in this coconut, and of course the pear is there, kind of doing a hide and seek, okay, from time to time. So it's not like in your face. However, it depends on how you extract notes. For some, it's going to be all pear and coconut, and for some, it's going to be all raspberry and coconut. But I get mostly a raspberry and coconut kind of, you know, giving turns there, and of course that macaron note. So if you love gourmand fragrances, again, you're going to love that, because it has, you know, that almondy, biscuity, yummy feel in it, carrying with it that sweetness and then electronic coconut. Another DNA that I was quick to pin, you know, after a couple of sprays. Initially at Beauty World, I couldn't pin this, but when I got home, when I was more settled, I was like, I know you. And for sure, you know, I did bring a cluster of Ariana Grande fragrances, or a host of them, in my Western Wednesdays, because I do have another channel where I post Western fragrances, and I try on that channel to bring like a host of them, say 5-6 from each house. So I did bring a host of Ariana Grande fragrances, and while I was cracking my head thinking, what is this fragrance reminding me of? It was like just there, right in my face. Thank You Next. Okay, so it does feel like this one is also cut from the same cloth as Thank You Next, or that is the driving factor, or what made Paris Corner create this is the fact that, you know, they were inspired by that Thank You Next DNA. You are going to certainly identify that, especially if you used that fragrance before, or if you love the Ariana Grande fragrances. You know, you are certainly going to, you know, after 2-3 sprays or after 2-3 wears, know that, no, this is certainly reminding you of one of them. And with Thank You Next, personally, when it comes to the Ariana Grande fragrances, for those that haven't used them and possibly are tiptoeing, you know, into the Ariana Grande fragrances, wanting to know which is which, because she also does drop them, you know, from time to time. Like now she's got Maude Vanilla, Maude Blush, she's got the Cloud Pink, Cloud Intense 2.0, that sort of thing. I would say, of course, you know, Ariana Grande's fragrances went viral after that Cloud, because it was sharing a little bit of some similarities with BR 540. Now, after the Cloud, okay, if I'm to rate Ariana Grande's, after the Cloud fragrance, the other one I like is REM, okay, the REM, and then Thank You Next. So this is not a bad DNA, although it gives off those juvenile vibes, a fun vibes, okay, fun, exciting, interesting, coconutty, summery, even all weather. Okay, let's say all weather, just to make sure that I don't throw you off the summery and cooler days, something like that. That is what this serving is all about. But as I was saying, you know, with the Ariana Grande fragrances, I feel this is going to be either a favorite, or some people are going to be like, oh, okay, did we really need that? So it just depends, okay? But I personally am going to say I love the Thank You Next DNA, okay? And I personally, again, just have it in a mini. I don't have it in a full size. So just as well, I've gotten myself this, and I got it as PR. So I don't think I'm going to be adding that fragrance to my collection because this is certainly at par. So this is going to give you gourmand vibes. You're going to feel a foodie feel in this fragrance, a fluffy, sweet, creamy even feel, to this fragrance. So yes, if you love gourmand fragrances, you're absolutely going to love this one. Now, to bring them back here, let me just say, this, I said, a man can wear this if they want to. However, this may come across as too girly for some men. This DNA as well gives me a DNA that is likely going to stretch past the 4 hours. We're going to revisit the lasting power, guys, of these two fragrances. But for now, I think that is what I can say about them. Both of them are well blended. They are not missing what they were going for, which is, this one, the Cherry Rosa 62 EDP, and then this one going for that Ariana Grande Thank You Next. So if you love that, you're going to enjoy these fragrances. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.